Hi, Cancer. Welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for August of 2021. We are the astrologers of Pandora Astrology. I'm Jamie Kale Miller, and I'm in Berkeley, California.
And I'm Julia Mijas in San Francisco.
Cancer, if this is your sun sign and you've missed your birthday reading this year, it is always a good idea to have it before your birthday, but it's not too late to get a ton of benefit from knowing what's coming down the pike. And if you want that, you'll find a link for it in the YouTube description below. Well, how is your relationship retrospection period going? Juno has been retrograde for several months. Almost 4 months, really. It's been traveling through your 6th house, having an impact on and really causing a soul searching and retrospection regarding your work relationships, most particularly. And if you work with other people at your job, particularly one-on-one, but even on teams, then this transit might have had a pretty big impact. It's almost over. It finishes on August 2nd. And so we're coming out of this generalized sort of global, Mercury, Juno retrograde, retrospection period. And so everybody's been involved in looking at their past relationships or the past of the relationship that they're currently in with a view to how can we grow more in this relationship. And hopefully you've been thinking that through in your work relationships and you're ready to put into action some of what you've learned. And that's really what we should all be doing as the month progresses and as Juno, very slowly begins to pick up the pieces. So you can find out more about Juno retrograde in the playlist from June, actually, which is where we first reported on this Juno retrograde, the June 2021 news playlist on our Pandora Astrology YouTube channel. Julia's got some news about Mercury, Venus, and Mars.
Yeah. Well, hi there, Cancer. So Mercury, we'll start there. That's the planet of communication. It also represents where a lot of your thinking is going to take place this month. And so Mercury begins the month in your second house of money and stuff. So you could be spending a lot of time thinking, strategizing about how to increase the material sphere of your life, whether that's getting more money from work or whether you want more sort of items in your life to enjoy. Then by August 11th, Mercury moves into the third house of learning, and Mercury loves to be in this house, so it's a wonderful transit to learn something new. Also, it's going to help if you do any type of public speaking or writing, whether that's in your personal or professional life as well. Then Venus, the planet of art, beauty, and relationships, she begins the month in your third house too. Lots of focus on the third house. Again, that's the house of writing and communication. It can also represent your neighborhood as well as your siblings. So with Venus in the third house, she's giving you a little extra boost to whatever writing or learning projects you're involved in. And she'll help you also get along really well with your neighbors and enjoy your local surroundings a lot more. It's a great time to sort of go to the local beach or go have a picnic. Then by August 15th, Venus moves into your fourth house of family and home. So you'll be getting along really, really well with your family and the people you live with during that cycle, because Venus brings harmony wherever she goes. It's also a wonderful time to beautify your home in some way as well. Then Mars, I'll finish with Mars. That's the planet of action and activity. And Mars is going to be in that third house all month. So, you could run into some flare-ups and frustrations because Mars is the archetype of the warrior here. With your siblings, if you have any, perhaps also with cousins too. Third house can also represent neighbors as well. So maybe you'll get into some little disagreement over something very kind of local to where you live. Mars can also give you sort of a lot of drive too to explore all your local surroundings as well. You'll want to, instead of be hanging out in the house all month, wanting to kind of go out and have a change of scenery.
Move about the cabin. So we've got a couple of moons to talk about. The first one is a new moon in Leo, which falls in your second house. That's a house of finances. It's also a house of food and security. And so a new moon is a great chance to plant new seeds. This particular one we're calling Pride Springing from Wholeness, Not Ego, because of the wonderful connection to Chiron, but also the stressful connection to Uranus. So under this moon, I think folks may be having to make a choice. Do I heal my anger, my pride, my wounded pride, or do I, become an irritant to those around me? And you can find out more about that moon in our August 2021 news playlist. The next thing I want to tell you about is that Uranus is going retrograde this month. Uranus is traveling along through Taurus. It's in your 11th house. It's been bringing change and conceptual shift, sort of electric bolts of the unexpected into you through the ways that you interface with community and networks, which can involve social networks as well. And so Uranus has been doing that kind of in the background for several years now. But this month you might notice some, more standout experiences happen around the day that Uranus goes retrograde, and that's the 19th. And here you'll see the little red RX symbol appears. And so if you are having a Uranus transit to something in your chart this year, it would have to be something between 10 and 14 degrees of a fixed sign like Aquarius or Leo or Taurus or Scorpio. And you would know because you would feel that Uranus feeling of agitation and extra nervous energy in your body, like you want to break out, break down, and break through. And if you feel like something is going on in that realm for you, then you should check out our video about Uranus transits, how they feel and how to handle them, which is also in the August 2021 news playlist. The next thing I want to talk about is the full moon in Aquarius. And here it is. It falls at the very end of your 8th house, and it's hanging with Jupiter opposite that big, bright sun in Leo, where the sun loves to be. We're calling this one Hot Summer Night Party Moon because it's just hard to imagine a more fun vibe than the sun in Leo, the moon in very social Aquarius, and then jolly Jupiter nearby. But Jupiter is retrograde, so I think that it's important to restrain yourself rather than overindulging in, the party treats, whatever they should happen to be. And you can find out more about that moon in our playlist as well. The last thing I want to tell you about is, of course, the seasonal change. The sun moves into Virgo, which is your 3rd house. And in so doing, it joins the other planets that have been traveling through your 3rd house this month and really emphasizing and re-emphasizing the themes of communication and immediate environment that are a part of this house. Like Julia said, this is the house of your siblings, your neighbors, the environment right around you, maybe housemates, the people that you see a little bit every day, and your thoughts and your mental preoccupation. So it's a house that loves stimulation, and it's getting plenty of that. So lots going on in the communication realm this month. And I think that's all we have for you. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please be sure to spread this horoscope far and wide to friends and relatives. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and find your way over to our website where you can find more good stuff like this on our monthly forecast page or on the horoscopes page. Check out your other horoscope. If Cancer is your sun sign, check out your rising sign horoscope. And until next time, we'll see you around the cosmos. Bye.
Bye-bye.